Just got back from the California State Wrestling Championship Finals. I saw all the state finalists, all the final matches. So I'm just back in the hotel, gonna get some sleep and head home. And this is my third year going to this tournament. And by far the most enjoyable one that I've had. I think, like with everything that I'm noticing in my life, I'm getting better at it, meaning I know the layout better. I can plan my schedule better. I'm getting better at relaxing, and I'm just more present, because this year the matches just seemed way more exciting than they did last year. Last year I watched all the matches, but honestly, I don't really remember any of them. And the main thing I remember was kind of boring. Like, it just seemed to me like the matches were slow, they weren't high scoring, and just people were not taking a lot of risk. But I think it also had something to do with the fact that I just was not as present last year. This year, I definitely was more into it, and like magically, the matches were exciting. There were a lot of exciting matches, both boys and the girls. Like there were high scoring matches. That was the other thing I remember from last year, is like all the matches were just really low scoring, and it seemed like everybody was just wrestling almost in slow motion and not taking a lot of risk. This year, there were really high scoring matches. It was just like, it was exciting. And the most exciting match was a girls match with this girl who was like, I remembered her from last year for whatever reason, something about her style, even though she didn't win the state title last year. She was in the same weight class as my friend's daughter, which is part of the reason I remembered her. But there was just something distinctive about her style, and I remember being surprised when she didn't win. And then this year, she's a senior. It was her last chance, and it was her third time in the state finals, and she had never won. And she was going up against another tough girl, and they had the most exciting match of the night. There was an exchange. I think it was like the end of the match. The whole match was kind of like back and forth. It wasn't super high scoring. It was a good match. This girl is super good technically, and both girls are good technically. And I think like at the end of the match, this other girl, she like did something. She like threw a headlock, and she took this girl to her back, almost pinned her. In fact, if I'm being completely honest, I think she was pinned, because her shoulders were completely on the mat for like a full second. But the thing is, if the referee doesn't see it, it doesn't happen. So the referee was not in position to see that. I think if he had been in position to see it, that girl would have been pinned. But the referee didn't see it, and that girl, by the time the referee ran around to the side where he could see her shoulders, she had pivoted enough to, get one of her shoulders off the mat, and so there was no pin. And then that girl ended up like reversing the girl, and then stood up, and then she ended up taking the girl down and pinning her. So like the girl that I remembered from last year went from, she was leading the match, to almost being pinned, to, in my opinion, in reality, actually being pinned, but the ref didn't see it, fighting out of that position, then reversing the girl, taking her down and pinning her. It was the most exciting match of the night for sure. And just like the way that this girl fought, even when she was down, when she was pinned or almost pinned, like she never stopped fighting. Her conditioning is phenomenal. Her technique is phenomenal. And like you could just see the fight in her. Like there is no quitting in her. Like there wasn't even a point where she took a break. She was just fighting like these impossible positions. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was so fun and impressive to watch. So that was the night of the match. The match of the night, in my opinion. I hope that girl gets outstanding wrestler for the girls. I don't know if she will. There were certainly other good performances, but that's the one that stands out to me for the girls. For the boys, there were a number of them. There were a couple guys in the middleweights, and there was one guy who he's like the number one guy in the country in his weight class, and he won by a huge margin. But then in the next weight class up, there was a guy that I thought was even more impressive, like so athletic. He just moved so smoothly. Like it was incredible. This kid moves like a panther. He like floats across the mat and he just pulls off these, incredibly skilled, low probability takedowns. It's beautiful. So yeah, there was beautiful wrestling. It was fun to watch, and yeah, like I came up with kind of a new, I don't know, thing for myself to do, because there were a couple moments during the day where I was like, okay, what do I want to do right now? It was the first time I ever asked myself this. I asked myself, what would I do if I was relaxed? And it had never occurred to me to ask myself that question before, but it just occurred to me like, okay, like here I am, I'm on this trip that I chose for myself. It's it's a vacation basically. Like I'm supposed to be enjoying myself. I'm supposed to be relaxed. Why am I tense? I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, do I want to be here? Do I want to go somewhere else? Like, what do I want to do? It's like, relax. Okay, so like, what would I do if I was relaxed? And it was such a beautiful thing that I'm going to keep using. And I'm just so glad that I'm in a place where that tool can occur to me. And I was able to relax and enjoy what was going on around me instead of like worrying about something else. So very happy. And then another high point of the day was had dinner at a really good barbecue spot, like a really authentic, like outdoor barbecue shack. Like it's got no indoor seating. It's like literally like a shack with it's like a kitchen inside the shack, and then that's it. And then all the seating is outdoors. There's a big like parking lot. So that was a really cool experience. And apparently in this part of the country, barbecue is a big deal. In this part of the state, which I didn't know that before, but I know that now. So anyway, amen.